personal best. I'm going to minimize chat so that I don't get any help from anyone. Okay, here we go. Black to move. We get a nice endgame one. Now, where to begin? I'm up a pawn, which is a good thing. So this could be freaking difficult. Where do I begin? I mean, I guess maybe I can get to G3. Would be nice. But it's, I mean, probably that's better for me. Okay, like how, this is tough. I mean, in an endgame puzzle, I like to, you got to figure out the strategy first, and I don't really know the goal. Like King G5 is the move that is the most interesting, I think. King G5, there's King E4. And if he lets me walk in, I'm not 100% sure. Probably that's better for me. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not. This might end up being about reserve tempi and then Zugzwang ultimately. I mean, if white marches over here, would I be quick enough? Like 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's, if I don't touch the pawn, I think I would be quicker to promote, because he's going to have to, he will have to grab it and then push, and my pawn is a little, well, I don't know. That's still close. That's still very close. Yeah, this is tough. Long story short, I don't really know. I don't really have a clue. So let's say King F5. And let's say white does nothing, because I'm trying to see what threats we can create. Let's say he goes back to F2. That should be winning for me, because maybe then I can fix his pawn so that he has a backwards pawn. In fact, that as a first move is interesting, I gotta say. Let me look at that as a first move. H4. He might have G4. But then he might get in Zugzwang again, where I might get my king here. Although it's, well, I guess I can never go here in that case. Because, well, no, no, yeah, not if I push. Okay. You know, if this is here, then I can, yeah, I can never go here because he can always just play King E4. You can always play King E4. So I don't know. Maybe H4 is not right. But H4 is interesting. But yeah, maybe he just plays King E4 there. And then I can't make progress. In fact, I might just be losing there. So I think those are corresponding squares. H4 and then King E4 is a problem. Although, if I have reserved tempi and he doesn't, then I could push and then eventually I could hit here. But if he's on this square, then he could play. But then I would have en passant. This is very, very complicated. This is extremely complicated. The downside of it, well, one downside of h4 is that I'm giving up a possible reserve tempi. So yeah, maybe I start with the king, because if he doesn't want to give up reserve tempi either, then he gives up this square, which is juicy. Because king f5, king e2, or let's say he goes to f2. Boom, bang, boom. Sorry. Boom, bang, and then I play a5. But then he comes back to e3. This is tough. Ding dong, ding. They're in. Here, I go back. I mean, see, I'm not sure about that. And then maybe I just go back to f5. Maybe that's still good for me. I'm not 100% sure. What if I bring the king this way? Is that a possibility? Because I can get the king here, and then maybe this is a plan. So what about king e7? So let's just go king e7, king e4. What if he pushes the pawns? Like, probably I could probably just play a5, right? Well, no, that could be, well, that's a bit dangerous for me. Because he might play b5 and then bring in his king and grab this pawn, like here. Oh, I guess he can't, actually. It would be tricky for him to do that. So possibly this is a plan, king e7. And if he, I mean, you know, if he does this, then we go to king d6. And if he follows me here, well, maybe he's fine. But this seems like an idea. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Boom, bang, bing, bang. But then I can maybe I go here. Maybe I go king d5. King d5. King d3. And then maybe I triangulate. So it's his turn. I think I'm going to go this route. I don't know the exact moves, but I think once I get here, I can triangulate so that he has to move. We're going to assume that I take care of all the reserve tempi moves. And then once it's his turn to move, I guess maybe if it was his turn to move, he could go king c3. But then I play e4. And then it's a bit confusing because he might be able to go after this pawn, but ooh, it's tight. It's tight after that. Ugh, this is really, really hard. Do I want to commit to e7, king e7? Because this idea of a4 is still interesting as well. What if I go this route? He'll probably just play b3, but that's still kind of interesting. I've got a4, maybe. I guess he has b4. Then it's not interesting anymore. Yeah, that always just seems to kind of, I hit a big wall there. I mean, and that's why fixing the pawn is interesting, but then, and again, I've already looked at this, but just looking at it again, like unless I fix the pawn and then I go this direction, that would be insane. a4, and it's always possible that he just pushes. But no, probably that doesn't work for him. Yeah, so a4 is still intriguing. And the en passant still probably doesn't quite work for him because it's hard for him to grab this pawn. I guess he could push and then I take and then takes. Yeah, a4 and then this plan is interesting. a4, if he goes back and then I go here. I think king e7 is interesting, but I really like the idea of creating this backwards pawn for white. So I'm going to start with a4. If it's wrong, well, we'll learn something. It's right. It is right. Okay, so he goes king e4. So my instincts were right on this. So now I think it's about reserve tempi. Otherwise, we're losing this pawn. So for me, it's easier to calculate than white. I've got, well, it depends on what he does, right? I have possibly two to three reserve tempi. Now, maybe we can prevent Alekhine's rule. No, not Alekhine, Steinitz's rule. If I play sorry, this is H pawn, not A. Yeah, so if I play A5, white no longer has the luxury of Steinitz's rule. So I like that. A possible downside is that I'm giving up one of my tempi. So he would have B3. But then I still have one left. I have G5. And then he's in Zugzwang. Because, I mean, potentially he can play B3, but no, that pawn's running and then my king's getting active. I think I might have nailed this puzzle, which is insane. But yeah, I think we start with A5 to prevent Steinitz's rule. And then he's in Zugzwang already. My king's going to get active. I'm going to play this. Yeah. We've taken care of that. And then I'm pretty proud of myself. Now, I haven't gotten it right yet, but I'm pretty freaking proud of myself. Okay, so then we go G5. And he's in Zugzwang. Yeah. Now it's, I mean, probably I have to take like 99%. Pushing is interesting. He does get it in the square, and then he's, I mean, potentially this is also winning. Probably not, though. So I'm going to take, I nailed it. Oh, wow. Okay. Opening up chat. Okay, lost more viewers, but no, nobody said anything. I am very happy about that. That puzzle was rated 3028. And that's a new personal best, 2910. I'm having a great day. I'm having a very great day. I won all my blindfold games. I set a new personal best on Rapid, and then new personal best on puzzles. And this was a beautiful puzzle because I got it right. No, no, but I was able to figure it out by pure logic, which is how you should solve any puzzle. But I didn't know where to begin, right? And I figured it out. I'm really happy about that. Hello, Eat Chips. So let's look at it again. Thank you, LJL Chess. Your puzzle rating is 2904. Well, now there's some incentive for you to get 2911, isn't there? Yeah, so I love that because it took me forever to figure out on how to begin, right? Like, what's the plan? And I kept looking at like getting into this vicinity, and then I thought I couldn't really make progress there. So then I thought maybe I just bring the king over to the queen side, which did look attractive, but I wasn't so sure about it. And then at the end of the day, I just kept looking at the chance of fixing these pawns like that, because that structure is really bad. So I kept wanting to play A5, and then so I just kept looking at, or A4, sorry, H4. I kept looking at it, and then I kind of combined the two ideas of where I play this first, and then I bring in the king, with the idea that eventually white is going to run out of moves. So what's interesting here is, as this progressed, the next piece of the puzzle is actually, I think, just as difficult, and it's Steinitz's rule. So Steinitz's rule, if you don't know, is when you're in the end game with pawns and reserve tempi matters, Steinitz He likes to, basically there's value in pawn being on the second rank, having not moved, because you get the option of going one move or two moves, which can affect how much tempi is left. And so, for example, if I played g5 first, white could play b4, and then I'm the one in Zugzwang, and then white wins, or it's a draw or something. But that's why I wanted to eliminate Steinitz' rule from white, where white only gets the option now of playing b3. And then I get to move again, and now white is in Zugzwang, which is what happened. And yeah, here white's in Zugzwang. He has no moves. I mean, if he moves the king, then I just bring up my king, and then I'm coming in. So that was lovely.